We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does the stupidity what Sonic the Hedgehog did to Dr. Robotnik. And thank you for joining me once again for what is the fifth time this week. I guess I'm glutton for punishment. Thank you everyone for joining. I see already a few hundred of you in the chat. I hope you enjoyed tonight. We're going to have another discussion about the shape of the Earth tonight. Joining me tonight is Kristopher Woods. This has been arranged for a couple of weeks. So let's introduce him. Kristopher, welcome to the channel. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not doing bad. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your life to come and have a conversation with me. Why don't you just introduce yourself, take a couple of minutes, say who you are, and a brief overview of what your position on the shape of the Earth is.
All right. My name's Kristopher Woods. I'm basically just a self-employed regular guy. My position on the shape of the Earth, what I'm here to actually defend is biblical cosmology. I don't even really use the term flat Earth. It's not something that I really even like to say. We get our description and what we believe of the shape of the Earth to come straight from Scripture, and that would be basically what I'm here to defend.
Right. So, Scripture. What's that?
Excuse me?
What is Scripture? You know, how does that provide evidence for the shape of the Earth?
Well, for example, we could start with Genesis chapter 1. We could go with the sequence of events would be the first thing. When you look at the scientific narrative, you have, for example, you have the sun predates the Earth. Am I correct in your cosmology?
Of course.
Right, the sun predates the Earth. Well, actually, in our cosmology, the Earth predates the sun. If you'll notice that the sun, moon, and stars were created on day 4.
How?
In Genesis chapter 1.
Yeah, how were they created?
Oh, they were spoken into existence by the Most High.
Yeah, how did that work?
That's a good question, you know. I won't pretend to understand all of that, but that
okay,
is
so
what,
we can dismiss that
position.
then. If it's something that's not repeatable or, you know, scientifically verifiable, we can just dismiss it as a tale, though, really, because it's...
So I guess we should do the same thing with the Big Bang Theory, then, I suppose.
No, Big Bang has evidence to support it, but...
There's not verifiable or repeatable.
There absolutely is. You can test and measure
That's actually
the
part
same
of the
thing all
problem
the
that
time.
we have with the
you know,
heliocentric model is that it's actually only one segment of a greater theory called evolutionary theory. You know, so none of this is verifiable or repeatable. None of it ever been proven.
Everything
your
that
model,
I
your
talk
model
about is
with
verifiable.
The heliocentric model is like I said, it's just one segment of evolutionary theory as a whole. So really,
nothing about the heliocentric model is to do with evolution. They're separate things.
Oh, not at all. They're one and the same.
No, they're absolutely not. Evolution has absolutely nothing to do with the shape of the Earth and the model of the universe that we understand.
Oh, yes, it does. I mean, this is where the heliocentric model, this is where you get the bursting outward of all the universes. Oh, bro, this is, yeah.
No, we get nothing to do with evolution. Big Bang is literally nothing to do with evolution.
You name it. You can't.
So, Kristopher, if I could just take a second, sorry. What you're doing right now is strawmanning the heliocentric model, because that is not the position that people that follow that model of the universe think. So you are making up your own.
Is what you guys do
hold on, Kristopher, hold on. I haven't finished. So what you're doing is you're making up something about the heliocentric model so that you can attack it. But that thing isn't true, and that is the literal definition of a straw man.
So let's go ahead and put the Big Bang Theory as a whole, and you'll notice that the your heliocentric model comes into play right around here. Okay, Big Bang happens right.
The Big Bang
here,
is just part of the model.
This is where your heliocentric model comes into play.
Well,
yeah,
no, actually, the heliocentric model. I mean, that's a term really kind of that flat earthers started using. The model of the universe that we understand includes the observations and measurements of the Big Bang.
Once again, not verifiable or repeatable.
Absolutely verifiable. Absolutely, the measurements are verifiable and repeatable. Yes.
Absolutely have not been. This is why you have.
You can keep saying it hasn't been, but it literally has.
You guys, look, we've almost come to a point where science and we're almost on the same page, because here recently you've had a couple of people. I'm going to cite João Alves. Okay, I'm going to cite him, and I'm going to cite Alyssa Goodman. Okay, because what these people have come to realize is that all stars and star-forming clusters are on the surface of a giant bubble. Well, wouldn't you know?
Okay, so I mean, you're just kind of taking something that science is saying. Hold on. So the giant bubble you're talking about is like, it's called the heliosphere, and it's actually a protective cloud generated by the forces that the sun creates.
It's an allegation that
every time I'm talking, you wait. No. The middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours. I'm very sorry about that. But if I'm in the middle of a sentence, could you please not interrupt? Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay? Because again, you are strawmanning the entire thing. You're just making up things to attack. The bubble that they are talking about, it's not really a bubble, that's just a media term that was created. They're just talking about the heliosphere of the sun, which deflects interplanetary and interstellar dust and particles and stuff and protects the solar system. And there's also similar bubbles that go around the entire galaxy, and similar bubbles go around the cluster of the galaxy. It's just part of the forces generated through the universe doing what it does, and none of that is the firmament. The firmament isn't a thing that exists. And interestingly, the firmament actually means expanse when you look at the original writings of the Bible.
Rakia is the word in Hebrew.
Rakia is the word, the root word of rakia, expanse, is the word that is used and was mistranslated to mean dome, and that was never the intention of that of the word being used. So if we're going to use firmament,
it's a hard beat down molten surface.
That's a root. Actually, that's a root word that was mistranslated from the actual word rakia.
Well, that's what the Satanists say. I understand that the devil worshippers say
you want to keep interrupting me when I'm talking, all right? I don't care about Satan. I do not think Satan is real. So don't call me a Satan.
But your mods do, don't they?
No, I don't have mods.
What do your mods think?
I don't have mods.
What do your mods think?
You mean my YouTube mods? It's irrelevant what they think.
Mods. What do they think?
It's irrelevant what they think. You're not arguing with them. You're talking to me. And I don't think Satan is real, so you cannot call me a Satanist or say that I follow Satanists, because I do not think Satan is real. So that's a straw man that you're putting on me again.
But all of your mods do.
No, all of my mods do not think Satan is real. Don't make up things. Right? So if we're going to use the word... Again, you're just making up things, Chris.
Of your mods, I'm asking you a legit question, because
I do not know what percentage of my mods are religious.
The Most High God. You are here defying
what's God?
High. So I would like to know
what's God?
Percentage of your mods are active Satanists.
None of them.
That's a lie, because I'm going to give you a name of one right now in about 2 seconds. What's her name?
Yeah.
Can I have a name?
A lot of them say they're Satanists to screw with people like you, but you know.
Megan Satanis. Your mod.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. Fair enough. Move along.
Yeah, so no, I don't believe in Satan, and it doesn't matter what my mods believe. They have their own beliefs, but I don't believe in Satan, so don't bring Satan up in this argument, okay?
Well, I'm just of the opinion that birds of a feather flock together. That's all.
Yeah, your opinion's irrelevant to facts, really, isn't it? So if we're going to talk about firmament, we're going to go with the meaning of the word expanse, which is what it actually is, and that's coming from a Hebrew linguistic scholar who I can actually bring on at some point if you would like. So that's what the word firmament actually means. But we have observations and measurements that can demonstrate what we say to be true. You're just saying it was spoken into existence. What evidence do you have of that? And specifically, how was it done? If you don't have any evidence of how it was done, then we can dismiss the claim.
Well, like I said, if that's the standard, then we can do the same with the Big Bang.
No, we can't, because there's evidence for the Big Bang.
But that's what I'm trying to establish here is equal absurdity, is that yours is no more repeatable than mine.
No, mine is repeatable. You keep saying this, but mine is repeatable. The measurements of for the Big Bang are repeatable. There has been no
evolutionary stages documented whatsoever. The evolution is a bust.
We're not talking about evolution. Stop talking about evolution. Stop talking about evolution. This is not about evolution. This is about the shape of the Earth.
But you keep trying to separate the two, which you cannot.
Yeah, because they're completely irrelevant. No, sorry, stop. Again, do not strawman. Evolution is nothing to do with the model of the universe that I follow. Okay? Please stop bringing up evolution. That is not part of this discussion.
But at this point, like I said, all we're disputing is the distances, because we all understand now that we are living inside of a bubble. Okay? At this point, we're just disputing the distances. The firmament is the bubble I'm referring to. Your scientists are calling it the local bubble, but they have yet to determine
again, there's actually
several.
as I explained, there's several of them. So which one are you talking about?
That's a theory as well that can't be repeated.
No, it's not a theory. It's observations and measurements. I don't think you know what a theory is for a start.
The problem is that you guys are using you're basing your distances off of redshift. That's the problem.
Not just redshift, many other things. Many other things.
You're still stuck in redshift theory, bro. You're stuck in 1924.
Again, you're strawmanning stuff. You're strawmanning stuff. That's not how we determine the distances of the universe.
Quasars have been proven. Quasars disprove redshift. It's already an over with.
Yeah, okay.
Argument.
So again, redshift isn't my argument. That's not how I would measure the distance of the universe. So
but that's how the distances that you ascribe to are established. Those
not always. No, there's many other methods.
Using redshift.
There's many other methods.
But that's not the method that's used.
There's many other methods. There is many methods. Stop strawmanning and attacking a strawman.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
The method. That's how they get all of these distances, all of these.
Also, quasars don't disprove redshift.
13 million years. All of that stuff, all of these distances to the sun, moon, stars are determined by redshift.
No, that's just one method. There's many other methods. That's just one method. Are you not listening, Chris? Stop talking. Chris, stop. That is one method. There are many more. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I understand all of that, bro, but that's...
There we go, then. We can move past you to strawmanning redshift.
Subsect of whatever you believe in the
I don't have beliefs. Stop strawmanning. Stop strawmanning. Stop strawmanning. Chris. Stop. I'm going to ask you once more. I'm going to ask you once more. Stop strawmanning.
What are you going to cut me off?
I'm gonna ask you once more to stop strawmanning my position. All you have done so far is strawman my position.
You're gonna just repeat strawman over and over again?
Yeah, if you keep strawmanning me, then yes, I am going to.
Can you came to do something tonight, bro?
Can you do it? Yeah, well, I'm waiting for you to do something other than strawman my position.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to present something, man.
Well, no,
you've got nothing.
Wait, hold on. The format we agreed.
Your whole defense is a strawman defense.
The format we agreed.
Defend anything of your
I can defend if you actually attack my model. If you actually attack my model, I can defend it. Now, the format we agreed was you would present evidence to back up your claim. So what evidence do you have to back up your claim that the Earth is flat and motionless?
No, what I have evidence to present is that your cosmology is a lie.
No,
okay?
No, sorry. No,
okay?
we agreed that you would present evidence to back up your claim that the Earth is flat and motionless.
Bro, you've seen all of our evidence. We can talk about...
There isn't any flat Earth evidence. That's why I'm asking you to present some.
Stuff over and over again. I'm not here to repeat and regurgitate all the same
stuff. So what you're saying is you've got no evidence.
Came on your channel did. Okay, because the problem is we're going to turn this back around on you.
So you've got no evidence.
What we need to talk about is all of your theories falling apart for the last 100 years.
Nothing that I follow falls apart.
Further down the road, nothing ever accomplished. Everything keeps getting changed. You don't want to talk about how we cannot have a sealed, a pressurized air environment right next to a vacuum.
That's another straw man. Right, stop. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Wait, stop. Chris, stop. Right, let's talk about that specifically, all right? Please stop going off on rants, and let's do one topic at a time. We're going to talk about that pressurized container next to a vacuum thing, because that is the biggest straw man that Flat Earth presents, because that is 100% not the claim that we make. 100% not the claim that we make. We do not claim... Wait, hold on, let me finish. Don't interrupt me.
Don't tell me what I believe. Tell me. Come on, tell me.
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Come on and talk then, man. You keep laboring.
Yeah, all right, stop. Let me explain. Fuck's sake.
Stop narrating.
That is one of the biggest straw mans that Flat Earth present, because
that is that, bro. I'm gonna keep interrupting you until you get on with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but you interrupt me every time I start talking.
And get on with it.
Yeah, stop talking and let me finish what I'm saying. Okay?
Get on with it.
Brilliant. So the reason why that is the biggest straw man that Flat Earthers present is because that is 100% not the claim that we say. At no point do we say there is a pressurized system next to a vacuum. That is not the claim that we have of the model of the universe. We live in a pressurized system and space is a vacuum. That you say over and over again. Incorrect. Space is not a vacuum. Space is a low pressure area.
It's not a vacuum anymore.
It never has been. It's a low pressure area. It's a. There is no such thing. There's no such thing as a perfect vacuum. Space is a extremely low pressure area. Now, the model that we have and what we claim there is there is pressure next to a slightly lower area of pressure, next to a slightly lower area of pressure, next to a slightly lower area of pressure, and so on and so on and so on. There is no pressure next to a vacuum. We have a pressure gradient, and that is it. Do you understand that?
That is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody else say.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay, because you're not even part of mainstream. You don't even believe in.
That's
physics.
what mainstream science
you're on
says.
some other stuff.
That's what mainstream science says.
You don't even subscribe to the basics of physics. Because what we
that's
understand
literally
is
what
that
mainstream
density,
science says.
I mean, I don't even understand what you're here to defend, bro, because you're disproving your own model.
That is what our model says. Our model says that we have a
so let me ask you a
gradient of
question.
pressure.
So where does the line separate? Where is the threshold between the pressurized air that I'm breathing right now?
There is no threshold. There's just pressure getting less and less and less. That's it.
Okay, and what causes that?
Gravity.
Gravity, yes, exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay,
which is something
so
that I
why
personally
is it-
measured, so, you know.
Why is it that gravity is so, I don't know, picky, though?
It's
Why
not.
is it that it can
It's
keep
absolutely
a plane
not.
tethered at 30,000 feet going 600 miles an hour and keep that plane tethered to the earth so that the pilot never has to dip his nose as he goes around the curve, okay? It can do that, but
That's
yet it
all to
lets
do
the
with
butter
pressure,
fly
yes.
flutter by.
Uh,
How is it
Sorry,
that
it
it
can
can
say
hold
what, sorry?
all the water?
Sorry,
it can hold-
one
it-
question at a
let's-
time. One question at a time. Repeat the first
Yeah.
thing you said. Repeat the first
Yeah,
dumb thing that you said.
it can hold a plane tethered to the earth, but it can let something so small and weak as a butterfly.
You
do
do
its
realize
own
that a
thing.
plane isn't tethered to the earth. It flies, just like a butterfly does.
But why doesn't the pilot have to dip his nose as he goes around the curve?
Because flying is about matching the forces of thrust, drag, and lift. Once you
Now, if
match
ask the
those
pilot,
forces...
he will tell you because gravity keeps.
Yeah,
him
I have
tethered.
several. Again, you keep interrupting me. I have several pilots. I've got several of them as friends. There's several of them in the chat right now. Once you get up to a certain altitude, where there is a certain air pressure, all you have to do is match the thrust of the plane with the drag of the air and the lift that the wings are creating, and keep those things at the same level, and it will naturally follow the curve of the Earth because so does the pressure of the layers of the atmosphere.
So it's about the pressure,
Yes.
not
Your
gravity.
ignorance of flight mechanics is irrelevant. Gravity is one of the things you have to take into account.
I'm not ignorant. I'm
Well,
clarifying
there's a
your
reason
statement
why
before I
a plane
set you up
has.
and slam dunk you.
There's a reason
Okay,
why
I'm
a
about
plane.
to dunk
Right,
you.
hold on. There's a reason why a plane needs engines to get off the ground because of
keep on
gravity.
digging.
What happens when the plane turns
Dig
off those
further.
engines? What happens when the plane turns off those engines?
Whoa. Keep going back up, one thing at a time.
This
like you
is
said.
one thing at a time.
Let's talk
What
about
what happens
you're
when the
telling me,
plane
is it
turns off
pressure-
those
is it
engines?
the pressure or is it gravity?
Gravity
that
is one of
keeps
the
the
things that
pilot-
has to take the things into account. That's one of the forces that
Is
you have
it
to
the
take into
pressure?
account. Pressure is
Okay.
created by gravity, right? So my question to you,
no, we're
Chris,
dealing with
my
lift.
question
No,
to
no,
you,
in the case of flight, we're dealing
fuck's
with
sake,
lift.
will you listen?
Okay, we're not dealing. No,
Will
we're
you
dealing
listen?
with lift created by
Will you
thrust.
listen?
We're dealing with lift created by thrust. No.
and the drag,
rules are
obviously, you
different.
need to take that into account.
Okay.
But these are all forces that are put, that have to counter the force of gravity that's pulling down. But my question
have
to you,
to
and it's a
counter
very
the force of
simple,
gravity.
it's a very simple question. What happens when you take away the force creating the thrust? The plane falls out the sky. Exactly. So when there isn't a force to counter the force created by gravity, the plane goes down. When
Now,
there
it's our
is a force,
position that
when
that
there
force-
is
that
a
that
force,
force is not
when there
gravity.
is,
That
when
force
there
is
is,
not gravity.
when there is
Gravity
a
is
force,
not that force.
when there is a force to counter
Gravity
the force,
is not the force.
when there is a force that's created to counter the force created by gravity, the plane flies. When you remove that force that's countering it, the plane falls. Because
I understand
gravity
that
is a
that is-
variable in this.
I understand the mechanics that you're describing.
Clearly you
What I'm
don't.
telling you is that the force in question is not a gravitational force.
What is
The
it then?
The force in question is density.
Density
versus
isn't a force.
Buoyancy. No. What causes lift? What causes? I'm sorry, not lift. Let me rephrase. When we are dealing with what we're dealing with is, first of all, nothing actually falls. Everything either sinks or rises. based on
Incorrect.
its
Things
density
accelerate.
and buoyancy. When we look at the periodic table of elements, what you have is they are arranged in order of density. Their atomic number, their atomic value represents its density. And so what you have is just like what we repeat in a chemistry class, okay? You start when you have something. Are you okay?
Yeah, everything you're saying is so dumb. Obviously, you've clearly never done a chemistry class.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
right. Let me just stop you there, Chris. When you say buoyancy, when you say buoyancy, you're just saying gravity in a different way, because buoyancy includes gravity. You do know that, right?
Gravity is only assumed. Nothing has ever been proven to show a downward force.
Incorrect.
Okay?
Gravity
because certain
incorrect.
Things are immune.
Incorrect.
Certain things are immune.
You just told a
Anything
lie.
less dense than oxygen rises. Anything less dense
because
than
of buoyancy
does not sink. It rises.
Because
this
of
is why we
buoyancy.
have helium balloons, hydrogen
because
balloons.
Of buoyancy.
Anything less
Chris,
dense.
oh my God, you need to take a breath, dude. Because of buoyancy.
Less dense than
because
oxygen
of buoyancy.
rise, bro.
Because of
It's
buoyancy.
a very simple concept.
Chris,
we can talk about
you need to stop talking and listen.
And
seriously.
how they achieve depth.
Chris,
okay? When the submarine,
Chris, stop talking.
No, listen, bro.
Let me respond to you before you go off on a rant.
Now listen.
Let me respond to you before you go off on a rant. One thing at a time. Let me respond.
I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, I need to respond to each point you bring up. So let me respond, and then you can continue.
You got a straw man defense. That's all you got.
Yeah, because you keep straw manning. So let me respond. Right, stop. Let me respond. When you say buoyancy, you are just saying gravity in a different way, because buoyancy includes gravity. It's literally in the formula for buoyancy.
No,
you cannot calculate
does not require
you cannot calculate the buoyant force without gravity.
And density are not dependent upon any spin.
Yes, they literally are. Literally are.
In our cosmology, there is no motion of the Earth. There is no gravity.
Literally, buoyancy requires gravity. It's in the formula for buoyancy.
Not.
It's in the formula for buoyancy.
All it requires is it's a greater than or less than equation, bro.
Why is gravity in the formula for buoyancy? Why is it used to calculate the buoyant force?
I'm not here to argue why some idiot put it in a textbook. Okay, what I'm telling you
it's not in a textbook. It's actually how you calculate it.
There are two opposing forces: density versus buoyancy.
Density isn't a force.
Proven by submarines.
Density. I'm a submariner. I'm a submariner.
Okay, great. So then you ought to be able to follow this, okay?
Yeah, and it's about buoyancy and
how does the submarine achieve depth?
You trim the ballast tanks to equal the buoyancy of the submarine to the pressure of the water you're in.
Now,
buoyancy contains gravity. When you do those,
no offset for gravity underwater? Why is it gravity doesn't exist underwater?
Let me answer, right? When you do those calculations for the submarine of where you got to put it, gravity's actually in those calculations. There is gravity underwater, but there's also a buoyant force which acts in the opposite direction to gravity, which can be a lot stronger when the pressure of the water is stronger. This is a serious question. This is a serious question. Right, this is a serious question.
I know.
Do you know the formula for buoyancy?
Listen, I'm not here to argue formulas. I'm not here to argue education levels. What I'm here.
I'm not talking about education levels.
Concepts,
right. So,
okay?
right. Do you know how to calculate the buoyant force?
Is that we don't need to understand every single formula in order to conduct experimentation.
To calculate the buoyant force, you do.
Real world. Okay.
To calculate buoyancy, you need to know the buoyant force. To calculate buoyancy, you need to know the buoyant force. So how do you calculate a buoyant force?
Buoyancy, you need to try to shove a basketball underwater, and you can get an idea of what it's like and how strong.
So when you shove a basketball underwater, you can feel that force pushing it in the opposite direction, right? How do you calculate that force?
Against the force of gravity. Directly against the force of in opposition.
Exactly.
To the force
Absolutely. 100% in the opposite direction.
As if gravity didn't even exist. As if gravity didn't even exist.
No, it's acting against gravity. And it's because of gravity that happens, right?
So again, gravity is so weak that the basketball.
Gravity is quite weak, yes. Gravity is quite weak, yes.
Really? I'm amazed to hear somebody say that. I'm actually blown away.
Gravity is the weakest of the fundamental forces.
Wow, that is amazing.
I mean, your scientific, illiteracy is kind of irrelevant, really.
So let me ask you this: what's your position on 8 inches per mile squared? Do you ascribe to the curvature or not?
Well, that's a chord measurement, and it doesn't calculate curvature.
Well, I know, but I'm just asking because some do, some don't. I'm just asking what you think.
I mean, you can use 8 inches per mile squared to calculate a chord measurement from A to B, But if you want to calculate the curve on a sphere, any sphere, you need to use h equals r times 1 minus cos A. That will give you the calculated drop that you would expect on a sphere of any size.
So what's wrong with the so when we take a sphere with a circumference of 25,000 miles, what's the curvature formula for that?
The curvature formula is exactly the same. H equals r times 1 minus cos A. That works for a sphere of any size.
I just gave you the variable. I gave you the variable 25,000. That's the variable. That's
yeah. And I just told you the formula that you use. That formula works for a sphere of any size.
Okay, so go ahead. For those of us that are too slow, go ahead and elaborate. 25,000 miles circumference. What's my curvature formula?
H equals r times 1 minus cos A.
So do the math for us, since we're all dumb. Do the math. R
H,
times whatever.
The hidden amount of drop. R, the radius, times 1
Can I just
minus
get a simple
cos
formula
A.
that I can use when I leave?
That is a simple formula that you can use. Okay, that is how you calculate the drop on any sphere.
For a real value. I'm asking you for a real value. You're dancing around.
A value of what? What value do you want?
I want a 25,000 mile circumference of a sphere.
Yeah.
Now tell me how much curvature I should have per mile.
1 degree every 69.1 statute miles.
We're in degrees now. Okay, so can I get that in meters or feet?
Degree is how you say curvature. Are you talking about drop or are you talking about curvature? Which one?
I'm asking for a simple formula, man, that I can use. I'm asking for a simple
I've given
value.
you the simple formula.
My position is that on a sphere that has a 25,000 mile circumference, that the curvature formula that it should display a curvature of 8 inches per mile squared.
That is 100% incorrect.
Which I understand, which is why I'm asking you to go ahead and give me your 100% correct value, please. Mine is 8 inches per mile.
To calculate the hidden drop that you would expect to see, based on the distance, you would use h, which is the hidden drop, equals r, which is the radius of Earth, times 1 minus cos A.
25, so r, go ahead and insert the values and do the math for us, guy.
What specifically are you asking me?
I'm asking you to solve for h.
Over what distance?
25. I'm asking for a distance over 10 miles. 10 miles. Solve for h over 10 miles with a 25,000 mile circumference on my sphere or oblate spheroid, whatever you think it is.
Well, okay? I've given you the formula. If you want to know that, just plug in the numbers and do it.
So you're going to go ahead and decline to give me that information. Thank you.
I don't have the numbers right off the top of my head.
Well, you have the info, but you're so damn smart. Why can't you?
I've given you the formula. If you want to find it out, just do it yourself. All I'm saying,
I'm just a regular guy,
all I'm saying
pretending like I was somebody.
All I'm saying is that oh my god. All I'm saying.
What's the actual number?
All I'm saying is that 8 inches
over 10 miles.
Hello.
How much curvature should I have?
Still talking. All I'm saying is that 8 inches per mile squared is the incorrect way to calculate the drop that you would expect to see over a certain distance.
I understand what you're saying.
So if you want to do it correctly, you can use the curvature calculators, which would use what I've done.
For a sphere,
which it is, yes.
That would be the curvature.
What would be the curvature?
8 inches per mile squared.
No, because that doesn't calculate curvature on a sphere.
With a 25,000 mile circumference.
Right. Okay. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. 8 inches per mile squared simply is not how you calculate curvature on a sphere. So that's got one function, right? Per mile squared. That's just one function. Do you understand what that means? That's
I do understand what you're saying, but
right,
you're
so
making no
one
sense
function cannot hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Can I get one sentence out without you interrupting?
You dance around every subject and you get
I'm trying to answer, but you never let me finish, Chris.
No,
this is how flat earthers debate, by never shutting the fuck up.
No.
Right,
yeah,
so
I get it.
So when you say 8 inches per mile squared, that doesn't. Yeah, the 500 people watching disagree. So when you say 8 inches per mile squared, right, that doesn't calculate what you would expect to see on a sphere. That blue line there, that represents 8 inches per mile squared. It's a parabola. One function, miles per squared, can never come back on itself. So that's not how you calculate. The way that you use 8 inches per mile squared is called a chord measurement. So it would be a straight line through the sphere from one point to another, and you can calculate what's missing from that. It's not a way to calculate the curvature or the expected drop that you would see. Do you know that where that came from, the 8 inches per mile squared? Who said it first?
That is a measurement that is derived from AutoCAD, which is engineering.
No, it's
software
actually not derived from AutoCAD.
Okay, that those of us who work in the
It's
real
actually
world,
not derived
we
from
use
AutoCAD.
it.
That's a lie.
And it's how we make buildings, bridges. You know
Sorry.
what I mean?
It's actually not derived from AutoCAD. That's a lie.
In the real world, that's what we use, and that's
again,
what you get.
Chris, hold on. It's not derived from AutoCAD. That's a lie. Who told you that?
Well, okay, well, go ahead, and people can do their own research.
Yeah. So where that actually came from was the OG flat earther Samuel Rowbotham read it in a manual about leveling, and misinterpreted it as how to calculate the curvature of the Earth.
Samuel Rowbotham misinterpreted it. That's
absolutely that's where that 8 inch per mile squared came from. It is a useful tool when you're doing. It is a useful...
8 inches per mile squared is a natural property of a sphere with a.
No, it's not. I just told you 8 inches per mile squared makes a parabola, not a circle.
You can say whatever you want to say, bro, but this is simple math. This is
it's simple math that you've been lied to. You were lied, Chris. Right, thank you. It's simple math that you were lied to about and have just believed without ever looking into.
I'm glad you were here to enlighten me, bro.
So again, it is simple math that you were lied to about and did not bother to research yourself.
Am I supposed to convert?
No, I'm just telling you that you're wrong. Right, so, okay.
Oh, I appreciate it. But you have yet to give me an actual measurement that I can go outside and find the curve with. I'm asking you.
I told you the formula you can use.
And you gave me an H is a something else or whatever. I'm asking you.
H equals R times 1 minus cos A. And you can use...
All right, so go ahead and solve for H given the circumference of 25,000 miles and a distance of 10 miles. Is that enough information for you to solve? Is that enough? Is that enough information for you to solve?
Are you wanting me to do your maths homework for you? Is that the problem?
Have I given you enough information?
Well... Are you wanting me to do your maths homework for you? Is that what it is?
I'm asking. Well, I want to see you do it, bro, because you've impressed me thus far with nothing. Okay, you've said straw man over and over again.
Yeah, because you do understand that if you straw man me, I'm going to tell you that you're straw manning me.
Bro. Solve for H, given a circumference of 25,000 miles and a distance over.
Okay, I'll just get the Earth curve calculator up and do it. It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which uses what I've just said. So, for how long? Over what distance?
Over a distance of 10 miles, how much curvature should
viewer height
given a circumference of 25,000 miles?
Viewer height. What is the viewer
6
height?
Feet. 6
viewer
feet.
height. Distance in miles, viewer height, 10 feet. So with standard refraction, it would be 3.24 miles to the horizon.
So the same thing that's claimed by the heliocenter, the same thing that's claimed by 8 inches per mile, 3 miles.
No,
3 miles to the horizon.
Again, 8 inches per mile squared doesn't. 8 inches per mile squared doesn't calculate that.
Bro, that's where the 3 miles to the horizon came from.
No, it's not. It's literally not.
I don't need to argue that. You've given me what I asked.
You're just making stuff up.
I do want to say I appreciate this, that you actually stopped and did the math. So you're telling me that according to your model, that according to
maps, not to my model, according to maps.
If I'm 10 feet tall, on your model, if I'm 10 feet tall, I can't see further than 3 point something miles is where the horizon is on your model.
Well,
is that right?
My model, let's be clear, my model includes refraction, and it depends on the refraction. Yeah, and I am answering if you let me answer. The answer depends.
I need a yes or no.
The answer depends on the current refractive conditions.
Depends on what you're wearing right now, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
I need a yes or a no. Okay? 3 miles, 3 point something miles to the horizon on your model if I'm 10 feet tall?
Depending on refractive conditions.
Depending on refractive. Well, let's just assume that the atmosphere is clear and it's not hazy and visibility is 100%.
Yeah, that's not what refraction is. Refraction is to do with refractive index due to the biometric pressure and temperature. So if we are, if we're using standard refraction, what we generally see as an average throughout the year, then it would be roughly 3.24 miles.
3.24 miles to the horizon if I'm 10 feet tall.
No, if you're 6 feet tall and the distance is 10 miles.
Okay, I thought you had changed it to 10. Okay, so
No,
if I'm 6 feet tall.
you said yeah.
Okay,
So
I
that-
know. I thought I heard you repeat it back wrong, but anyways. If I'm 6 feet tall, on your model, it is 3.2 something miles to the horizon.
Approximately, yes.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
the horizon, the distance to the horizon is approximately 3 miles, but it would appear
the other way, right?
It would
That's
appear
when it
to
starts
be
curve the other way, right?
It would
Isn't that the zenith? That's basically where things start to curve the other way.
Wait, do you know what zenith means?
So I'm just saying, as I'm citing out.
No, I'm sorry. You just said the word
out.
zenith, and I need to make sure we're on the same page. What do you think
As you're
zenith
citing
means?
out, you're telling me that 3.2 miles away is where everything will begin to disappear on the other side of the curve. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's where the horizon would appear to be. But just before we continue, I need to know that we're on the same page. What do you think zenith means?
I may have misused the word in that application. All right, let's move on.
Right. Okay. So just so you're aware, zenith.
I was just trying to establish the point.
All right. Just so if that word comes up again, zenith means directly above you, 90 degrees directly
Correct.
above you. That is your zenith.
As in
okay?
when the sun moves overhead and hits the zenith and then becomes.
Yeah. If you were at the geometric North Pole, your zenith would be roughly polar.
No matter where you're standing, you have a local zenith at all times. But
yeah,
at any rate,
but yeah, that's what
at all
zenith
times.
means. So anyway,
and that's where I was using the application, the zenith of where the sphere of the Earth would meet the viewer. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Point is,
so
in your
yes,
model,
right, roughly yes.
It's approximately 3.25 miles.
Depending on refractive conditions, that is what you would normally see. Yes.
Okay. So at a distance of 10 miles away, I should be able to see absolutely nothing.
Depending on refractive conditions, yes.
So your position is that light bends around the curve of the Earth? Is that what you're claiming?
Well, light bends in a medium. That's refraction. That's what happens when light
I'm just
travels.
asking, is that what you're saying? Because something.
Yes, it absolutely does.
Away,
yeah.
Because I have a Nikon P1000. Okay, so I can see really, really far.
The flat earth camera of choice. Okay. You know, it's actually a really shitty camera, right?
I'm just saying.
You
can see really, really
you do know
far.
it's a really shitty camera, right?
Are you alleging to me that light bends around the curve of the Earth to get to my camera?
I mean, it absolutely does do that, yes.
Okay. So why is it that none of the sun's rays that are visible on any given day appear to be bent by gravity? Because it would have to be gravity that does this, but you just claimed a little bit ago that gravity
doesn't cause refraction. That's another straw man.
Oh, gravity doesn't cause refraction now. Okay,
no,
excellent. So
light traveling through a medium causes refraction.
What causes light to bend?
Light traveling through a medium. I mean, gravity can cause light to bend, as shown in the Eddington experiment of 1919. But the light bending around the curve of the Earth is a result of the medium the light is traveling through, not the gravitational influence of the Earth.
Okay, so light has never been shown to curve in any experiment.
Yes, it has.
There's never been an experiment shown where light has curved.
Do you want me to show you a picture of light curving right now?
Only on a curved reflection. Only with a curved medium.
No, not at all, actually. One sec, let me just get the picture up. I know I've got it here somewhere. Of a flat earther. Here we go. So this is a flat earther laser experiment with the laser going through what's called a temperature inversion, making the refractive index flip 180 degrees and forcing the laser into the air. Also, one of my most popular videos is about me showing a flat earther a laser bending and him saying there's something wrong with that laser.
This is synthetic. This is not natural light. A lot of things can be done with lasers and all that. I don't want to hear about lasers. We're talking about natural light.
Yeah, natural light bends as well.
Exhibit any of these properties. You can't do this with sunlight.
I mean, it literally does.
You can't do it with sunlight. I don't know. It can't be done with sunlight. You can do whatever you want with a laser, bro.
Have you got any proof that sunlight will act differently to a laser when traveling through a medium?
Have you got any proof that sunlight can be bent? Because there's none.
Yeah, refractive index. The entire works.
A distorted laser does not mean light can be bent.
You know, a laser is light, right?
I understand what it is, but it functions in a completely different capacity. Okay.
If a
This is
laser
not the
can
way-
bend, light can bend because a laser is light.
I'm sorry, bro. A laser is a synthetic production altogether. Okay, and can be manipulated in any number
It's
of
light.
Okay.
What comes
Any
out of
number
the
of
end
ways it can be
are
manipulated.
photons
Okay,
of
but the point
light.
is,
It's light
only
and can
see
be
light.
manipulated.
Light travels in straight lines. Light travels in straight lines only.
Except when it goes
We have
through a
never-
medium. We can see that
It
light
can change
bends when it...
directions. Yes, and through a prism, through something like a prism, yes, it can change directions, but it will
And
not
through a
bend.
gradient, if it's going through a gradient, it will bend. Because each level of that gradient will have a slightly different
Each
refractive
level,
index.
there is a what's the word I'm looking for? It has a catalyst, or that's not
I mean, are you just
word.
denying that refraction is a thing at this point?
There's a
That's
tool.
hilarious.
There's a tool involved. There's
a tool.
involved.
There's a tool involved, absolutely.
There's a tool involved in that. Okay, there's no tool involved in being able to see Chicago 20 miles away.
Yeah,
Okay?
well, why
There's no
is
tool
that?
involved.
Why is that observation not all the time, only at certain times?
Oh, that's because of atmospheric conditions, as you well know.
Oh,
Visibility can
amazing!
be-
So the light can bend. Amazing.
No, the light does not bend. What happens is that atmospheric conditions being like as,
You can
as
literally
evaporation
see
is pouring over the
horizons
water,
rise and
the
fall.
density, you understand if you've ever looked down a long road and seen the haze over the street. I don't need to belabor these things on you, bro. You understand.
You're
this
just
stuff.
denying
Don't act
that
stupid,
light is
okay?
affected
Don't
by the
act
medium
like
it
that
travels
with me,
through.
man.
Your scientific
I play dumb and
illiteracy
I
about
play smart, and I
refraction
don't know
is
which one I
irrelevant.
actually am, but you're gonna find out.
Your scientific illiteracy about refraction is irrelevant. All light is subject to Snell's law.
Bro, bro, listen. You guys with your Snell's laws and Noether's theorems and Occam's razors and Schrodinger's cats, all of that stuff can take a flying leap, bro, because that's all you got.
Because you
is
don't
to sit
understand
here and
it.
quote dead
Yeah,
men from
all we have is
1919.
evidence and science. Yeah, amazing. All we
wanna
have is
quote
evidence
Noether's
and
theorem
science.
Probably to tell me how conservation of energy isn't constant now, don't you? You're gonna next tell me how conservation of energy isn't constant because of Emily.
Are you just
Noether,
strawmanning again?
right?
Is that all you have?
Yeah, no, bro. I'm just saying, like you guys think that all you got to do is quote some dead man's last name, and that's supposed to impress.
No,
everybody.
not at all.
Snell's law.
I've verified everything I say
Snell's law.
myself.
Like
I verify
Snell's law.
everything I've said
Yeah.
myself. I've done experiments with refraction in my physics
Snell's
degree.
law. Yeah, Snell.
Yeah, you sound like an intelligent person right now, Chris.
Nobody cares about Snell.
Yeah, hey, yeah, well, if you want to do anything in refraction, then you really do care about Snell's law.
The point is, man. is
You
that
see
light's
these
not
glasses?
bending
You see
around-
these glasses that I'm wearing, right? You have to use Snell's law to make these glasses so that I can see.
Sounds real impressive, bro. But the bottom line.
The
of it
fact
is-
that I can see
is
when I
that-
put them on is quite impressive, because without them, it's just a fucking blur. But thanks to our understanding of Snell's law and how light refracts when going through a medium, I can now see.
So what's the medium that's causing it to refract around the curve of the Earth,
The atmosphere,
which is composed of what, precisely?
many different gases.
Okay, understood. But what? How is this? So you're alleging that the atmosphere acts as a constant gradient, basically, is what you're saying that.
Well, we know for a
constant
fact-
gradient occurring.
We know for a fact that there is a gradient to the pressure in our atmosphere. Do you agree with that?
So with every level.
Wait,
of
wait,
the
hold on.
gradient,
What-
don't you
Chris,
lose-
Chris, hold
don't
on.
you lose clarity?
One step at a time. Do you agree that there is a gradient to our atmosphere, the pressure?
Yeah, but not in the not. I do.
But
Agree. I don't know.
The higher you go, the lower the pressure of the air. Is that correct?
What? Yes.
Right, so there's a gradient, right? It goes from 14.7
We do understand,
psi.
though, that we do understand that there are fluctuations that are not constant. It's not just a simple matter of less.
Well, it is, actually. It goes from 14.7 psi up to, what, 10 to the negative 17 torr.
Okay, and how
It's
far
a
away is
constant
the 10 to
gradient.
the negative 17? How far away is that?
About 400 miles, roughly.
At
But I mean,
400 miles,
that
we're
gets
10 to
even
the
less the
negative
further
17.
you go. I mean, say
10
if
to
you
the
go out,
negative
if you
17
go
torr
out,
at 400
if you go out to where the moon is, right? There's still pressure, all right, but that pressure at that point is about 0.4 hydrogen atoms per meter cubed, right? But then you go out a bit further and say go out to interplanetary space, and there's about 1 atom every 5 meters cubed. But if you go out into
So
interstellar space,
so you're alleging a whole
it's even
different
less.
setup here, bro. Like you're not
no,
even.
this
you're
is
not
what
even,
this is what mainstream science says.
No, this is nothing
Yeah.
like what mainstream science says.
No, it
bro.
literally
It's,
is. It
not even
literally
close.
is. This is
No,
literally
not even
what mainstream
close, bro.
science says.
They're on the heliopause and local bubble stuff, man. And your
Yeah, but I just explained. What I just said is what.
Science.
Again,
what the
what I've just said is
all
what
of these guys are saying. No, what the latest of all these guys are saying is that the void inside the heliopause has no dust, no gas, no matter whatsoever. All stars and star-forming clusters are on the surface of this bubble in which there is nothing.
That's
inside
literally
of
not
it.
what it says. That's amazing.
That
you
is
could misinterpret
exactly
something.
what is modern science, bro. And you are
I mean, it's
out of it.
literally not. Again, Chris, this is a classic example of you just making shit up and attacking it. The
you
actual
just straw man.
definition
Call
of
me a
it,
straw
you
man, I wanna
are
hear that
just
again.
Mr. Strawman. That's all you have.
Thank you.
Like you cannot debunk the globe by not understanding
You're
it.
doing it for me, bro. You've already done it for me.
No, you cannot debunk the
I love
globe
it.
when you
Space
do
isn't
not
a
even
vacuum anymore.
attack.
I want to earmark today. Space is no longer a vacuum. FTFE proved it. That
Do you want-
space is no longer a vacuum.
You do know that's always been the claim, right? It's never
No, it
been
hasn't,
a
bro.
perfect
You guys
vacuum.
move the goalpost every 5 or 10 years or so.
Just because
Every
you
5 or
don't
10 years.
understand
Watch,
doesn't
bro,
mean the
I'm gonna
goalposts
see
have been
you
moving.
in 10 years, and you're going to be giving me some completely different cosmology, and you're going to be telling me all about why y'all were wrong 10 years prior. Okay, that's what y'all do in science.
So, science
You guys have
never claims to be
maintained a
finished.
consistent position on anything. Yesterday's science.
Yeah, because
is today's
we're
lawsuits,
honest.
bro. Everyone knows this.
Because we're honest, and when new information arrives, we adjust our position. Because we're not
Bro,
religious
you're
zealots.
God-hating Satanists, bro. Like you guys.
God,
have
I
been
don't. No,
honest
God
with
isn't
your
real.
lives.
I don't care about God. God isn't real. I don't care about Satan. Satan isn't real. So
I
I
hear
can't
you,
be a
man,
God-hating
and you can
Satanist
explain
if
that to him when you
I
see
cannot.
him.
I cannot be a God-hating Satanist if I do not think God or Satan exist.
Well, I mean, the fact that hits so close to your heart that you would take 30 seconds to rebut me, says a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm trying to point out that once again, you're making up shit and attacking it. It's a straw man to say I'm a Satanist.
Okay, well, am I making this up? Am I making this up?
Probably yes.
Michio Kaku himself. In cosmology, you guys are off by a factor of 10 to the 120.
Yeah, and you've no idea what that means, do
Am
you?
I making this up?
Yeah, you're cherry picking. You've no idea what it actually means.
Am I making this up? No,
I'm not saying you're making up, but you've no idea what it means.
Redshift theory. This is why I started with this main point. Redshift is broken. All of your
It's really
distances
not.
are
It works
wrong.
perfectly.
All of your calculations are based on 100-year-old math that's been disproven
Incorrect.
too many times to count.
Incorrect.
Okay?
Just making stuff up again.
Quasars alone disprove redshift theory. Okay? Quasars
No, they don't.
alone.
Quasars do not disprove redshift theory.
Oh, yes, they do, because
No, they do not.
Their redshifts are not consistent with
Yes, they
others.
are. You're just making stuff up.
No, I'm not. Okay, okay. Well, let's go ahead. Let's see.
So anyway,
Okay, the majority. This is from 1989, Gordon and Breach, Science Publishers, Inc. Okay, the majority of astronomers believe quasars are at their redshift distances. They ignore, therefore, the clustering of quasars of somewhat similar redshifts over large regions of the sky, particularly in the direction of the center of the local supercluster. Okay, this
I mean,
concentration
you're
of
verifying
quasars
that the
was
heliocentric
first
model is
demonstrated-
correct here.
Look, my point is this. I don't need to read this garbage over and over again because I don't
I'm
believe
surprised
it
you can
anyway.
read, frankly.
My point, though, is to make this. My point to make is this. Is
That you've got no
it's
evidence.
been long known, even among astronomers, that redshift theory is broken. and
Just
does
keep
not
saying a
work.
lie. It doesn't make it true.
You have constructed a cosmological
So anyway,
ladder.
how about
Okay,
this?
that
How about
does
this,
not
Chris?
work.
Right,
It
you're
is
instead of
broken.
you just
Your
strawmanning and not
ladder
understanding
is
science.
broken.
Right, instead of you just
Your ladder's
strawmanning and not
broken.
understanding science, let's talk
I
about
understand
actual.
you know how to say straw man, but what
Yeah.
your people need to understand is that your
Yeah, because that's all you've
entire
got.
ladder is
So
broken,
that's
though.
what we've got. So anyway, let's stick to actual verifiable, observable reality. Can you present to me a measurement of the surface of the Earth being flat, please?
A measurement? Yeah, every time we measure the Earth, we measure it to be flat. If no
Incorrect.
one told you it wasn't flat, you would not think it wasn't flat. But because
Incorrect.
people like you say it's
Surveyors
round,
have shown that it's.
therefore we're having this conversation. What you can't
I mean, you
measure
just
is
told
the
a lie.
curvature. I
Why did you just
asked
tell a lie?
I've asked you to
Why
give
did you
me
just tell a
a
lie?
measurement that I can go use, and you
Why
won't
did you
give it to
just
me.
tell a lie?
Oh my God!
Why
Look,
did you
bro,
just tell a
listen,
lie?
Listen. No one's lying here, bro.
You
Except
just
for
told
you.
a lie because every time the
I
Earth's
told a lie?
surface, yeah,
Did I tell a lie?
every time the Earth's surface is measured, it turns out it's curved. I can present countless
sir.
documents.
Negative. It's never been measured with any curvature. The curvature is only assumed.
Incorrect. Go to mctoon.net/r. There are several
I'm
historical
not going
documents.
to mctoon.anything.
Well, that's a genetic fallacy, attacking the source instead of the data contained within it, of course.
No, I've had all I could say. I know all about MC Toon. Okay.
He just happens to have, his website just happens to be links to actual measurements of the radius of the Earth. And when you actually measure the Earth, it turns out that it's curved. Why is it you can measure the surface?
Because
apparently measurements actually show that it is.
When surveyors take measurements, they are using straight lines. Okay, they use line of sight and establish straight lines.
Geodetic surveyors disagree with you.
You know what? I have surveyor friends, bro. I'm already in it, bro. So don't even worry.
Then why do surveyors? Why do let me ask you a question. 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 Chris, you need to take a fucking breath, bro.
I've had plenty breaths, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Why do geodetic surveyors use spherical excess?
I'm not going to let you Hegelian dialectic me into this conversation, okay? All right? It goes like this.
Why do surveyors use spherical excess?
Bro, did I not just answer your question?
No, you didn't.
I'm not letting you lead me down any line of questioning.
Why do surveyors use spherical excess when measuring the Earth? That shows that it's curved.
No, that is an assumption based on a 200-year-old
not an assumption.
Book.
It's literally when they measure it, they have to then go, oh, look, there's a spherical excess.
They have to insert it into a cipher. No, they add the curvature measurements afterwards. They don't actually collect the curvature measurements. They get measurements in straight lines, and then they run it through a cipher and say, oh, adjusting with the curvature.
No, they don't.
Bullshit.
No, they don't.
It doesn't even work.
They literally don't. What they do is they measure triangles, and what they find is that these triangles have angles that add up to greater than 180 degrees.
Very good. Triangles, right? So a triangle is made up of what?
3 sides.
Very good. Which are?
Which are 3 sides.
Lines. They are lines.
Yeah.
Yes, and we know that lines are
curved.
linear and straight.
Well, actually, lines can be curved.
Right, yeah, and we can get into all that, but that's not what we're dealing with survey.
And here's
we're
the
dealing
thing.
with triangles.
Here's the thing, right? Simple question, right? How many angles, how many degrees in total is there in a triangle?
180.
Right, so why is it when surveyors use triangles to measure the surface of the Earth, the angles add up to greater than 180 degrees?
Listen, I'm not going to let you quiz me. Okay?
Oh, every time I come up with the point that destroys you, you're just not going to answer.
Okay, because it's irrelevant information here, bro.
It's not irrelevant. It shows the Earth is curved. It's literal, direct, empirical evidence the Earth is curved.
We just established that they're dealing with straight lines. They're dealing with triangles with 3 sides, bro. There's no curvature.
Except there is, because the triangles have degrees that are greater than 100. Right.
Yeah.
Spherical triangles.
I get it, bro.
Spherical triangles are any. Hold on. Let me. Right. Please don't interrupt me for a second. Spherical triangles are triangles on the surface of a sphere, and they can have angles anywhere from 181 degrees up to 540 degrees. Right. Any triangle with degrees greater than 180 has curved lines for its sides. And whenever you use triangles to measure the surface of the Earth, the angles always add up to greater than 180 degrees, meaning the lines of the sides are curved.
Never even heard that alleged by anyone before. You are the
apart from surveyors.
I've ever heard say that.
mctoon.net/r contains all the evidence.
I was gonna have one here tonight. Honestly, bro, I have my homeboy who's a surveyor here in North Carolina, and I was gonna have him here tonight, but he's busy and he's got a freaking baby on the way. And I'm so
ask him about spherical excess and see what he says.
But it's okay. But it's okay.
Ask him about spherical excess and see what he says.
Yeah, we're getting all into the geoid and everything, bro. We're looking into all of it. And the amazing thing is that he and his crew will go out there and do their measurements with line of sight and straight lines. And then the GPS will come in and do their measurements. And do you know how far off they are from each other?
No.
Inches at best, bro. Inches.
Cool story, bro.
Inches.
And
if even that, bro.
ask your friend about spherical excess and see what he says.
The line of sight and straight lines, bro, it's proven and proven over and over and
Except,
over again,
like I've just said, in every geodetic survey... No, okay, I'm still talking. I'm still talking.
I know, but you're
right?
not making any sense.
Every single... I'm still talking. Every single geodetic survey that's ever been done shows that there is spherical excess on the triangles that they use, showing that the Earth is curved. Every single one. The evidence, if you would like to see it, exists on mctoon.net/r. There is many surveys that you can look at that have been done by professional surveyors over time, right? So it is a direct lie to say that the Earth is measured flat. It is not.
On his channel, they won't even identify themselves, man. They won't even give their name, bro.
He's had several on his channel, actually.
Every expert he has in his life is a liar. Okay, that dude is trash. Okay.
First, how do you know you're in a cult? They say everyone else is a liar. You're in a cult.
Right. No, not everybody. Just Toon.
So, so we've established that the surface of the Earth is measured to be curved. Right, so my next question to you is...
we have not established anything like that.
I've just told you where the measurements are.
Where the lie is here is they try and change the wording. What they want to do is...
No, they don't. They just measure.
That a horizontal line is not the same as a level line. This is where the argument happens. Okay?
It's not.
Because what they'll tell you is that a horizontal line is a straight line, correct? Is it? Is a horizontal line straight?
A horizontal line is not part...
Is it a straight line?
A horizontal line is straight in general, yes. That's what horizontal means.
Okay. But is a level line a straight line?
No.
A level line is not a straight line.
No, level can be curved.
Level can be curved. How can level be curved?
Right. Very easy. Right. Imagine a curved surface, right?
Right. There's a curved surface, but
listen. Right. You asked me a question. Let me answer. You asked me a question. Let me fucking answer, you knobsack.
No, we can't measure the curve. We can't.
I'm trying to explain to you how a curved line.
No. You're not going to stop me. Don't cut me off.
You just asked me a question. Let me answer.
No. Let me finish.
Come on, ponytail. Let me answer.
The assumption.
But because you don't want me to answer. 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 Because you are scared of me answering.
Assumption.
You're scared of me answering. I'm not making any assumption. I am just explaining to you.
There's no data collected to show the curved surface.
Apart from all the measurements I just talked about. But anyway, I am simply explaining to you.
Bro, you can disclaim your dumb
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Chris, stop talking.
Okay.
Chris, stop talking.
There is no way.
Stop talking.
Stop
talking. I am simply... You asked me, how can level be curved? And I am simply explaining to you how level can be curved. Can you let me do that without interruption?
Listen, I understand. Do you think I don't know the answer to the question I'm asking?
Yes, I do. That's why you asked me.
All right, so you know I already know. Okay.
Right, well, okay, you explain how level can be curved then.
Level can be curved if the surface is curved. Okay, but there must be a curved surface for level to be curved.
Right. So, and the measurements show that the surface is curved.
I'm not debating whether or not the existence of it can be.
You literally were.
I am stating is that the curvature of the Earth is and remains an assumption.
Except it's not. It's been measured.
Not a data that was ever collected.
Except in all the measurements that have been done. Except, okay, I'm going to show you some of the data right now. Right? Just to show that you're a liar.
I'm not interested, to be quite honest with you, because it's just...
you're not interested in seeing the thing that debunks you. Oh, what a shame. Too bad, you're going to fucking see it. Your claim, there is no data of the Earth being curved. I'm just about to show you how wrong you are.
Okay, wait, was it this guy?
No.
Is it him? Yeah, there's no data, bro. That's why it's called a theory. It's never been proven. There's no data ever been collected.
What's a theory? The curvature of the Earth isn't a theory. Measurements are not a theory.
Where they've done it in the surveying field, and where they've tried to muddy up the water is by showing you these charts and graphics that show a level line to be a curved line, but that does not exist in the real world. In the real
literally
world,
does. That's what a level line
means.
Line.
A horizontal line and a level line are the same.
No, they're not.
A horizontal line and a level line
can be curved.
Been the same.
No, they haven't.
This is where we get these
you're just making stuff up and lying
because
again,
your
aren't you?
horizon is also horizontal and straight.
God, why is this
and
taking so long
level.
to...
Sea level, to be precise.
All right, so
I understand that you're going to give me a document, maybe, of someone claiming that they thought they might have found some curvature. Okay?
Well, actually, it's an entire...
We're even on this channel.
It's an entire surveying... Right, Chris? It's an entire...
If they would just turn the Hubble around and turn it around and show us life happening upside down... Okay,
Hubble wouldn't even be able to focus...
Oh my God. Turn the damn Hubble
Chris,
around
shut the fuck up!
Life happening sideways.
Chris!
Shut up and go away.
Hubble couldn't even Hubble couldn't even focus on Earth.
Yeah, another interesting point. But when it came out, I was a child, and they told us.
You still are.
You know what they told us? That it was strong enough, had enough zoom that it could see the Surgeon General warning on a pack of cigarettes from outer space. But you know what? It's never done anything like that.
Yeah,
Ever.
that was never a claim. That was literally
you're
never a
like,
claim.
Oh, the Hubble can't focus on the Earth. You guys are a joke, man.
It was literally never a claim. You're just making stuff up.
You've got to be a shill. You can't really believe
You're
this,
literally
you
just
can't
making
really
stuff
be out
up.
You're actually defending this information.
So you're literally just making stuff up, right?
You've
So
got to be paid, bro. There's no way you could genuinely believe.
Yeah. Just claiming everyone's a liar and shouting doesn't mean you're right. So
I just don't see how you're pretty smart, bro. I can tell you are
I am
very intelligent,
right.
dude.
So anyway, Chris,
so
can you stop talking? Chris, can you stop talking just for 2 minutes? Chris, can you stop talking? Chris, stop talking for 2 minutes. All right, take a breath and just listen for a second.
Bro. I'm breathing just fine.
All right?
Don't tell me to calm down. I'm calm.
Chill the fuck out. All right. So your claim there is no data that shows that the Earth has been measured curved is false. I am literally showing you data right now. An entire geodetic surveying team did these measurements that show that the Earth is curved. This document contains the transatlantic triangulation of the American arc of the parallel.
Man. I mean, that's all.
No, I'm just showing that your claim is wrong. You said no data exists.
Oh, you're just proving my claim.
Yeah,
right?
I am showing you right now.
All you got is a straw man. You can attack claims, but you don't even have any evidence.
I don't think you know what a straw man means.
You act like you've got some kind of evidence, but I can't even read that. That looks like, I mean, I don't even care.
I understand you struggle with reading, but so
I understand you guys are all God haters and anything
again.
and
I don't care about God. I don't hate God because I don't think God exists.
Anything you can do to just keep kicking
Chris,
evolution down
oh my
the road,
God, can you shut up? Right. This is measurements that are repeatable. Anybody in the world can go out
you're
and
like the only idiot in the world even claiming this stuff, bro. Even the real scientists are smart enough to know that they can't repeat any of this stuff, bro. Everybody knows you can't.
Okay, so you're just right. That's
why we still debate it. Because you can't repeat creation any more than you can recreate the Big Bang, bro.
Okay.
And so for you
can I talk? Can I talk?
Verifiable and repeatable.
Can I talk, Chris?
Chill, bro. You're
Chris, can I talk?
Liar.
Can I talk?
You're not. No, bro. Like I don't even give you no respect anymore, bro.
Chris, can I talk?
You're a liar.
Can I talk?
You're just a garbage.
Chris, are you gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna shout like a retard?
Like I have like no respect left.
Right,
for you
Chris. I have not muted you yet, but I will mute you if you don't let me talk.
Oh, I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
All right, you are muted. You are muted, and I'm going to explain how wrong you are. This is repeatable. Anybody in the world can go out and repeat these measurements themselves to check that they are as they say. I can prove they are repeatable because there are multiple of them. They are done by multiple people all around the world throughout time, showing it has been repeated. Now you're unmuted. Please tell me how it is not repeatable.
I'll just go back to the real experts and remind you that this
these are all experts.
Is off by a factor of 10 to the 120th power.
Yeah, that doesn't change anything about the measurements of the Earth.
Oh yeah, it does. It's cosmology, bro. This is what we're dealing with.
I'm talking about empirical measurements of the surface of the Earth. I'm talking about empirical measurements.
What he is talking about is cosmology.
No, stop.
What is cosmology?
I am talking about empirical measure. I am talking about empirical measurements of the surface of the Earth.
Okay, so are we.
And I am showing you. You cannot present me. You cannot present me any measurements of the Earth being flat. I can present you countless measurements of the Earth being curved.
Okay, I'll show you one right now of a measurement of the Earth being flat.
I bet you won't.
Down in Bolivia, we got a salt flat over 100 miles long.
Yeah, and the salt flats are actually curved.
You can see all the way across it with the naked eye. So let's talk about your 3.2 something miles now. Because
Yeah,
right here,
do you want me to get a picture of the Bolivia salt flats being
we can
curved?
see over 100 miles with no refraction. You see any refraction here? You see any light being bent here, bro? What do you see, FTFE? Show me where's the light bending? Where's that happening?
Yeah, so refractive conditions are very different over a desert than they are.
Oh, they're very different.
Of course they are.
Well,
They're
thank you. I
different in a
appreciate
desert
that
than they are
concession. I
over
appreciate you backing
water.
up on that. Okay.
What
But the point
concession
is, bro, is
exactly?
you're asking for proof. I'll give you a damn picture. I'll give you a location you can go to. You're gonna give me a graph and a chart of some words?
No,
Come on,
I can
bro, that's
actually
not
show
data.
you. I can actually show you, a picture of the Bolivian salt
That's
flats
flat.
where you see it's
That
curved.
right there, sir. That's flat. You want to see flat? That's
Except,
flat. That's pretty
can you
flat.
show me a measurement of the surface of the Bolivia salt flats?
Oh yeah, that's over 100. Been measured over 100 miles long to be perfectly flat. Oh yeah.
Can you show me the measurement that shows it's been measured flat? Or are you
I would
just
like
making
you to do
that
your
up?
own research, actually.
Oh, right. I can show you my measurements, but I've got to do my own research.
I mean, what is it, bro? I'm not going to sit here on demand and just go diddle-daddle through
So
my
you-
freaking
right,
phone
okay.
or my iPad and pull up everything that you asked for, bro. I know some fucking show pony, okay? All right, you got nothing out here, man. You got nothing. You're God haters.
Apart from my
You guys will do
actual,
anything you can.
apart from my actual evidence
to
of
defame
measurements.
the Most High. You'll do anything you can.
I don't care about
to
God.
kick this can
God is
further down
irrelevant
the
to
road,
me.
But it's okay. I've had really about all I can take of you, man. I'm pretty much.
Well, we haven't
done.
even got to the fact that there's no measurements of the Earth being stationary.
Yeah, but I'm growing really bored with you, bro. All you've got is
So-
straw man. You don't really got anything.
You don't even know what straw man means.
Bro, come on, man. You just repeated.
When have I straw
so many
manned you
times now
once?
that I'm
Right,
immune to it
point out to me
anymore. It
specifically
doesn't
when
even-
I've straw manned you.
It just doesn't hurt my feelings anymore like it did. The
Hey,
first
hey,
time,
look
so.
at this Bolivian salt flats. Look at that curve.
What are you showing me?
I'm showing you a salt
Interstate 80
flat.
traverses Bonneville Salt Flat, Utah. A practically straight segment from the hilly terrain to the west of the highway. Observe the highway's curve. Okay, so how far is it? How far is that?
Very far, but that's a salt flat,
I mean,
right?
well, what's to show me? Give me some. I don't have any idea. Like I'm telling you, mine is 100 miles. Okay, what I'm telling you is that is 100 freaking miles to the other side.
Can you
it's
show me a
perfectly
measurement,
flat.
or are you just making that up?
I mean, get on Google Earth, pull it up, bro.
Yeah.
You're in there
Can
with
you
your
show me?
cockpit,
Google
and
Earth will
I'm
show
not-
it's
I'm not
curved.
saying- I'm not-
You know
I'm not
Google
in my
Earth is
cockpit.
curved, right?
You're in your cockpit. Go ahead and pull up Google
You know
Earth.
Google
Tell
Earth
me
is
how
curved,
far
right?
The Bolivian salt flat is. Tell me how much it covers.
You know
100 square
Google Earth
miles,
is
bro. That's
curved,
what you
right?
won't
Telling me
find.
to bring up Google Earth will show that the Earth is curved.
Bro, I'm asking. No, Google Earth is only going to be beneficial for getting the measurements of how wide the Bolivian salt flat is. Google Earth is not a reliable source for the shape of the Earth.
Oh, right.
You
It's
wanna
only
know-
useful for what you want it to be useful for. See. So here we have the Serra de Una salt flats, the world's largest salt
Right.
flat, and you can actually see as you get further away from the mountain that the bottom of it disappears below the curvature of the Earth. Funny that.
Yeah, that's the Rayleigh criterion, bro. You understand that? You know.
Oh,
about it.
wait. You said that light doesn't bend through an atmosphere, though.
Light doesn't bend in the Rayleigh.
The
criteria.
Rayleigh
When we're talking about-
criteria will show that light actually bends as well.
No, it doesn't. But the Rayleigh criterion causes object. Basically, the thrust
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
is that the
Yeah,
object.
the
will
Rayleigh
disappear from
criteria
the
is
bottom
part
up.
of is
No,
part of
bro.
optics, right? And all of optics show that light will bend through a medium. Rayleigh criteria can actually be taken into account when using lenses and stuff in Snell's law. So you can't accept
That's
one
not
part
the case,
of
bro. What
you
you're seeing
can
here
accept
is-
one
what
part
you're
of
seeing
physics
here-
around optics, but not another. That's called cherry
Go ahead.
picking. That's your fifth
No,
type of
bro,
fancy
you can't
tonight.
call it cherry picking because
It
your
literally is
entire-
cherry picking.
you're
You cherry
sitting here
picking
telling me
knobsack.
Your entire claim here, mind you, is that light is bending right now. As I'm looking at this right here, your entire position is to tell me that 100 miles away, light is bending around the curvature. of the
We've
Earth, which
proven
is
that
perfect
light
precision
bends. Yes,
that
we've proven that's a
appears
fact.
to be perfectly flat and perfectly straight with no distortion whatsoever. Okay.
Yeah.
There should
Yeah.
be
So as
a
soon as
ton
you
of
can show me a
distortion.
measurement
Given
showing
all
that there's
those
no curve
gradients,
there,
if all
then
those
you've got a
gradients
case.
were actually happening. If all those gradients in your model were real, there would be so much distorted refraction that there would be no way you could
How do you know?
see anything
How
clear.
do you know? Can you present me the maths to prove what you're saying?
Because with the wind, bro, because there's so many other things in play. The wind.
So you're just making stuff up and you don't know. You're just bullshitting. You are a bullshitter.
And you're acting like it's just
you
some
are a
perfect medium
bullshitter. Everything you say is bullshit. You're a liar. You're an absolute lying religious zealot.
Is that perfect?
You're a lying religious zealot. That's all you are.
I'm a lying religious zealot?
Absolutely. You're a lying religious zealot. That's all you've got. You make up shit, attack things that aren't true, lie about everything, and you're a religious zealot. You believe in magic. You believe in magic. You're fucking retarded. You think magic is real.
Well, like I said, bro.
So, next question for you. Next question for you, Ponytail. Next question for you, Ponytail. Can you present to me a measurement of the Earth being stationary?
How many times do I have to tell you that you are not going to lead me down a line of questioning? Okay, like
yeah, because you're scared to answer questions.
I'm not here to fucking entertain you. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
that's literally why you're here. You are here because I wanted to get a talking monkey to display to the world.
Okay, great. Well, I hope you got what you asked for, because on the day of judgment, bro, we're gonna get to replay this, bro, and I'm gonna see your face, and you're gonna
day of judgment. Yeah.
You're gonna wish. You're gonna wish.
There is no day of judgment, you fucking moron.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see about that. I'm gonna quote you on that.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, talking monkey, why is there no measurements of the Earth being stationary?
Bro, every measurement taken shows the Earth to be stationary.
Can you present me one, or is that just a lie?
Yes, I can. Actually, I'll present you one, a real one, right here, right now.
I bet £10,000 it's not a measurement of the Earth being stationary.
You can stand in Georgia.
Ha!
And look
Georgia Guidestones, you've just debunked yourself. Stop. Georgia Guidestones erected in the early 1980s. When it was erected in the early 1980s, Polaris was not in the absolute center of it. Polaris was actually slightly off to the top right. No, it's not. It's not. It's been recorded, right? And over time, since the Georgia Guidestones were installed in the early 1980s,
this very day, you can see Polaris through that hole to this.
You can see it. However, you can see it. However, stop.
You and your Megan Satanists.
Stop.
I'm sure you guys have made up all kinds of stuff. Okay?
Stop.
But you can still go to Georgia and
you're telling a lie.
And still see Polaris, and it's never changed and never gonna change. And
actually, it has changed.
Stand before the Most High.
Actually, it has changed. It has changed. When it was erected in the early 80s, Polaris, when you looked through it, was to the top right of the center. Now, however,
you on YouTube in 2022, bro. Like,
it's actually a fact. It's actually a fact.
Like, you're the only person that even knows that, bro. Like,
no, it's a fact. I've shown the data before, right? Because
you guys are just unreal.
Polaris is actually drifting towards the celestial
Polaris is drifting now, bro. Yeah. Listen, Polaris has never drifted.
I've got measurements of it changing over time, actually.
Polaris remains fixed, bro. You know,
incorrect.
Keep moving the goalposts. Keep moving the goalposts, bro.
Everything you're saying is just a lie, Chris. All right?
I could say the same to you, bro.
No, because I've got evidence to back up what I say. I've got evidence to back up what I say.
Call me a liar. I mean, that's all you got.
Because that's all you've done.
Straw man and call me a liar.
Because that's all you've done. Right? I can back up what I say. I can back up what I say. I can back up with evidence that Polaris has changed position over the years. No, it's not.
How's that for a measurement?
It's not a measurement of the Earth being stationary because it shows Polaris doing what we expect it to do.
It just shows that Polaris hasn't moved.
Yeah, and we don't expect it to move very much. It has moved slightly, though, as it shows.
We're supposed to be in 3 different vectors of motion. We're supposed to be in orbital, vortexial, and...
I mean, you're just making that
axial. Very good. Okay, we're supposed to be spinning like a top while orbiting, while...
Yeah, and Polaris is in alignment with our axial tilt, right? It is literally...
You think that all those moving targets would end up with one...
Right, can you just let me do one sentence without interrupting? Chris, can you let me do one sentence without interrupting? Do you think that's possible?
Bro, because your stuff is
I'm muting you.
And it's the same...
You're muted. Nobody can hear you, all right? I am going to talk, and you are going to listen, or you can leave. That's the options here, okay? Polaris is in alignment with the axial tilt of Earth. Polaris is also moving around the galaxy with us. All of the stars we see in the night sky move... yep, he's left. There we go. Rage quit. There we go. Can't stand someone trying to talk, so has got to run away. I only muted him twice. Throughout all of that, I only muted him twice. I gave him warnings. I didn't want to mute him, but he literally did not know how to shut up. All he has is strawmans. Literally, everything that he says is just a straw man and believing in a magic sky daddy, which I don't give a fuck about. You know, doesn't bother me. I'm not religious. He can say what he wants about me being a Satanist, but I don't think Satan's real, so I can't be a Satanist. He does not want to learn why he's wrong. He is simply a coward and a little bitch. Kristopher Woods, I own you. This will be a fantastic episode for Global Mum to do a short out of. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the week of content. I know it took a little bit longer to get Flerfs of Idiots out than I wanted. I had some issues with my PC, but if you haven't seen the new episode of Flerfs of Idiots, that was released earlier today. Very good episode talking about TikTok. Tomorrow I will release a new episode of Debate Shorts, and then next week there's going to be even more stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Let's read Super Chats and get out of here for tonight because that was incredibly fun. Jake the Surgeon for $5 says, have some money for me being qualified for monetization. Good job, Jake. Well done. Daniel McGlone, who came on the show back when I was doing Stupidity is Not Right for £4.49. Can you ask why he has a dead ferret around his neck? Poli1408 for $5 says, God sits high above the round ball of earth. Isaiah 40:22. Yeah, I know. I don't want to argue religious shit because it's pointless to me. Alison for $5 Australian. Well, we know the earth's a globe, so does your scripture describe a globe or is it simply wrong? Eon Dust for $5 Australian. If you want me to believe a god did it, you're going to have to show evidence that a god exists first before I even start taking you seriously. Yeah, agreed. Addison for $2 Australian. Hail Sage, Lord of Spice. Jake the Surgeon for $10. Evolution pertains to biodiversity. Give me one definition of the theory that even hints that the expansion of space-time imparted the variation of aliens in reproducing populations. No, he's just trying to, like, strawman me. I mean, I know I've said that a lot, but that's literally what Flat Earth is. It's strawmanning. That's it. You know, the perfect example is the whole gas pressure next to a vacuum. That's not the case. No one has ever said there is gas pressure next to a vacuum. There's simply a gradient of pressure getting less and less and less the further away from the surface of Earth you go. And it keeps doing that as you go. There is no vacuum next to pressure. It's a straw man. Jake the Surgeon, $5. Azeroth is the real creator of the universe. I have a book that tells me it's true. And then another $5 from Jake the Surgeon. Disproving one model doesn't make the opposing model correct by default, Chris. Chris is just a religious zealot. That's all Chris is. A religious zealot. He's like, you toasted enough. Once you start censoring, I'm done. You never shut up. I warned you that I would mute you so I can talk. But you don't know how conversations work. That made you look really bad. What a loser. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review for $5 says, I don't have evidence for my system, so I can only attack your system. Every flat earther ever. Alison for $2, ask him about the Haversine alternatives. I wanted to get to Haversine, but he rage quit because he's a coward. Jake the Surgeon for $2, give me the formula for buoyancy on flat Earth. To quote him, I don't need to know no stupid formula. Buoyancy, density, that's it. Yeah, calculate the shit for me. Fucking bringing up submarines without trying to use the formula for buoyancy. What an absolute numpty. Pilo1408 for $5. Density as a force would still have an atmosphere of no physical container. The vacuum is less dense than air, so it would stay above the air. Boom. Done. Jake the Surgeon for $5. A nuke is weak compared to a supernova. Gravity is weak relative to the other fundamental forces. I mean, in general, gravity is just quite weak, you know? You have to have a massive amount of mass for gravity to create a strong force. You know, gravity is generally quite weak. But it's also measurable, verifiable, empirical. Tim Tully, $10. Chris, please explain the pressure difference between the top of Mount Everest and sea level. Quays the Sprinkler has been a member for 30 months, says Chris would flunk out of the remedial classroom. I think the remedial teacher's struggling. He misspelled the word passing today. Totally wasn't me just doing a typo, because my wife's not here to spell check me, but you know. Harry7 for 14 months of a member says, Chris, lay off the coke, you can't stand still. Dave Kirkton retracted his message for £2. If you want to say it again, Dave, let me know. Jake the Surgeon, $2. Photons are photons, Chris. Eon Dust for $20 Australia. And Sweetie, you remember in school when they dragged you into the room with numbers? That was called math class, where you learn this stuff. You're meant to pay attention and not flick your boogers at the girls. Pivot Croy. Paul says, money idea. Large super chats automatically add a CGI dunce cap to the Flerf for 10 seconds. I could do that. Pivot Croy for €10. Look, FTFE, the Earth is clearly flat. The surface of the Earth consists about 80% of water, and that water is for the most part uncarbonated. It's clearly flat. Get out. Leave right now. Get your coat and just go. No, don't. I love you. Daniel McGlow, £4.49. This person, he says, is definitely the American equivalent of the UK's Roadman. The straight-up incredulity is borderline hard to watch. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review, $10. Message retracted. Thank you very much. Frog in me throat there. Eon Dust for $5 Australian. Do you think he's related to Howard? He gives the same arrogant grin when he gets verbally beaten down. Problem is, he never stopped fucking talking. He just kept spouting wrong lie after wrong lie. That was it. Rachbot has been a member for 30 months, says, got spare boxes here, want some Flerfs in storage? No. No, if you've got boxes with Flerfs in, please bury them. Thank you. Steve6464, $5. Chris, does light bend in your P1000 when it goes through the lens? And if light does not bend, then how can you focus your P1000? Yeah, just straight up denying refraction is a new one for me. Oh, apparently Gary Webenanger is saying that I'm doing a straw man. What straw man did I do? I didn't really get to attack anything because he never shut up. I never straw man. My intro is just a fucking joke. Deal with it. I try to get people to present their evidence and then attack that specifically. Andreas Ehrlich for 26. Are the lines on the basketball straight or curved? I like how he was like, oh, level can't be curved. Except when it's curved. Fucking idiot. Lord Illuminous Pooh, $2. Buzzword, nah. Yeah, that's it. Daniel McGlone, £4.49. Is it possible to arrange Globe versus Flerf charity boxing match? Dibs on this special case. I'd pay to see some flat earthers get punched in the face. Yeah. Real 10 for $4.99 says, is this how the guy acts in real life in front of his friends and family? God damn, this has given me second-hand embarrassment. He had someone in the room with him. I heard a girl talking when we were connected to start with. I mean, she had to witness him acting like that. Fucking hell. I hope he's in the chat watching, because Chris, you were embarrassing. Lord Luminous Pooh, oh no, sorry. Siggy Sigwald, been a member for 8 months, says, I'm facepalming so hard I'm going to end up dead. Shit! I did not do a facepalm warning. I'm in so much trouble. Jeff C, for $5 Canadian says, once again, you put another Flerf into a corner. Good job, Craig. Folger Persia Bakashi's been a member for 14 months, says, not sure why it says 1 month. It doesn't, it says 14. Anyway, Hail Venti, the best cinnamon bun god ever. Let you do what you want and give freedom to all. Hail Venti. And Folger Persia Bakashi, $2. YouTube sometimes. Bad UI. Venti, damn it. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a great week. I've had a lot of fun putting out all this content. I'm going to try and keep up the momentum. I want to get at least another 4 or 5 episodes of Flerfs Idiots out this month. I'm working really hard on stuff. And then I'm also going to be launching my Kickstarter for FTFE 2.0 for the documentaries that I'm going to be making. And I've got 3 documentaries that I'd like to try and get done this year, or at least maybe over the next 8 or 9 months. Jeff C for $5 Canadian says, I need the facepalm protection, oven mitts, and brain cell protection scotch for this debate. Yeah, here's my brain cell protection, which I'll be having some just in a minute when I finish up. Thank you everyone for watching. I massively appreciate the support that you give. I'm never ever going to limit my content to members only or stuff like that. Everyone will always be able to watch what I do for free. Just you being here makes me feel amazing. Thank you so much. Obviously the super chats and the memberships and the patrons are, you know, I can't express enough how much they help and how thankful I am for the support that you give me. It allows me to do what I love to do, which is debunk and argue with Flerfs online and explain actual science to people. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Hope you all had a good time. If you haven't seen my video, go and check it out and then come back tomorrow for a new debate short. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat.
You better all be dancing.
Fight the flat,
Look at me, I'm dancing.
fight the flat, 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 fight the flat.
Good night all. Love you lots.